Last week we started a Facebook advertising campaign for your self-storage facility. Let's continue that right now. Hello, my name's Mark Helm. I'm the author of Creating Wealth Through Self-Storage, and I'm the creator of the Self-Storage Quick Start Academy. And what the Quick Start Academy is about, and what I'm about, is helping the small investor get in the self-storage business or grow their self-storage business in a strategic way that creates true wealth in a fulfilling career. And let's continue on and complete creating your first Facebook advertising campaign in the Facebook Ads Manager. Let's go to it right now. Okay, if you remember where we ended last week, we ended up setting up our audience, and our audience was a radius around the location and the market of your facility. And that's where the real power of Facebook comes into play. You know, you can create audiences by interest. You could create audiences by location. You can create audiences that have watched your videos. You can create audiences that have gone to your page, your website page. You can create audiences that have gone to or other people's Facebook pages. You can create all types of audiences. But for what we're doing, we want to have an audience that is in our market area. Now, what's very interesting is between last week and this week, and literally between the time I wrote this episode and the time I'm recording this episode, Facebook, at least on my ads manager, has changed its layout and basically put Power Editor and Ads Manager together. And that's, I talked a little bit about that last week, but Facebook will continually upgrade and change, and what it looks like today will be different than what it looks like tomorrow, but the principles we're talking about in this episode will last. So for now, let's keep it simple. Let's create an audience of people that live within 6 or 7 miles of the location of your facility. Let's up it to maybe 7. Then I would save this audience and give it a name. And remember, it's best to maximize your size as much as you can. Facebook works really well when you have audience sizes 1 million to 2 million and plus. But for local businesses like self-storage, that's very hard to do. So just maximize the size you can. That's why I typically recommend doing a radius and not worrying about interest targeting in the audience size. For now, what I would do is save this audience, give it a name, the name of your facility. I always recommend using automatic placements. Let the Facebook algorithm, based on the feedback it's getting, determine what's the best placement, whether it's the news feed, the right-hand column, or the other places that they can put it. And select a daily budget. For a local audience of this size, I would not start more than 20. Sometimes I even start as low as $10 a day per ad set, because I want to find out what ads are working, what ads are not working. Then when I find an ad that's working, I'll turn off the ones that's not working, and I will scale this up to $20 or $25. If you've got under 500,000 people in your audience size, I don't think there's ever a reason to have more than $20, $25 per day on a budget. There are some audience sizes where you'll run hundreds of dollars a day, but for a storage facility, I just don't see it. And then I would always give it a start and an end date. Why? Well, because you can forget you're running them sometimes, and they'll just continue to run. And you don't want your ads always running, because the audience will get burned out on seeing your ad and could even start complaining. But I always give the ads a start date and an end date. I would give them at least 2 to 3 weeks to run. And usually you'll get an estimate of how much this particular ad set's going to cost you in Facebook. Now we get into where we're actually creating the ad, and pick out the page, the facility page. Be sure to have the facility page that you want for your ad. Next, we have the format of the ad. You can have image ads, carousels, multiple image ads, single videos, slideshows, and combination of all of them. Carousel ads tend to work very good for if you have multiple products to sell, or let's say you have a number of your customers giving reviews, positive I hope, but reviews for your facility. That would be a good use for a carousel ad. Mostly I'm using image ads, single image or single video. Video is the direction that Facebook is going. Each day you see more and more videos on Facebook. I have done a number of video ads on Facebook. Sometimes I'll do a combination where I'll do a video ad and an image ad and test it out and see which one's working better. But I said we're going to have a very simple ad campaign going here. So the simplest ad campaign I can think of is to do a single image ad. And I always recommend using real images as much as possible instead of stock images, but use whatever you want. Again, the image would be something that you think ought to grab the attention of the reader or in Facebook, or the audience in Facebook as they're standing in line getting a cup of coffee. And there's a lot of way to create images. One time what I did was I went and got a free stock image of a lady on a green screen pointing, and then I replaced the green screen with an image of my facility. So let's use that image. This was a free image of a lady pointing, and I just replaced the green screen with the image of my facility. Now, link. We'll talk about this in next week's episode, but the link is because we've created a conversion ad. In other words, the objective of this ad campaign is to have people convert and claim a offer that I'm giving them. And to claim that offer, they're going to give me their name and their email address. We're going to use the web page where they're going to claim that offer. That's what goes in right here. We'll talk about that next week. Or if you don't have that, you could put the web's address of your facility, or if you have the ability to rent online, you could put the web address of that page on your website right here. So the next thing that you do is, after you've got your website address in there, is you have your text in your headline. And there are all types of approaches to creating text for Facebook ads or ads in general. There are books written about it. There are hundreds of online courses. There's people's entire careers are designed around text and headlines for advertising, and I'm not going to get into that here. Just very, very basically, the objective of the headline is to get the audience to stop and to read the first line of the text. The objective of the first line of the text is to get the audience to read the second line, and so on. So do that research on your own. I can point you in different directions if you're interested, and we can go deep into this if there's demand for a class for online marketing for self-storage. If there is, I can create a real deep class and we can go into it for the people who want to go into it. But what I typically do is I usually have my text. I use a text document, a Word document of some type. I will create 2 or 3 headlines and 2 or 3 different versions of text, and I will name the ads that so I know which one is working better. I'll run 2 or 3 different versions of the same image ad to see which one's working better, and by the time I get here, I'm just copying and pasting. So I'm going to copy and paste in the text. I have no idea if this is good headlines and good text or not. We'll have to run them to see. And then you have your call to action button. I usually will do learn more or watch more. Rarely do I do anything else. Sometimes you can have test. You could also have no call to action button. Display the link, it's up to you. They're going to display the link in the ad. I typically will avoid the newsfeed description or URL parameters for right now. We'll talk more about pixels in another episode, but this is the pixel the code that goes on the websites, the landing pages, and the thank you pages so you can track the conversions. And you can also do offline events. In other words, if you wanted to just upload your data in a spreadsheet into Facebook to track, you can. We'll come back. I recommend using the pixels whenever you can, and we'll come back to that. But basically, you have just now created your first Facebook ad. Now, I want you to take a deep breath here and realize that you have just done and know more about the Facebook advertising platform than 99.9% of all self-storage owners in the country. Now, after you take that breath and recognize that, I know this is a very cursory look at it and a very preliminary, simple ad campaign, but yet the majority of people in the country and the majority of self-storage owners cannot even do this. You can now. So what you want to do is confirm this ad, and what happens is Facebook will approve or disapprove your ad. And the majority of the time they're going to approve it. But I totally recommend periodically reading the Facebook ads policy. Why? It changes frequently. When you set your account up, it was there. You can go into Ads Manager and all over the place and find the ads policy. You can go into settings and get it. But just know what it is. So for example, if I had an image here where 25% or more of the image has text on it, they won't let you run it. If I had a headline that said something like, "Don't you hate it when they raise your storage rent?" they wouldn't approve it because of the word hate. The whole reason behind all of the procedures and the policies for the Facebook advertising policies is to enhance the user's experience in Facebook. And as you're creating your ads, you want to be cognizant of that. You want to be thinking of that. You want your ads to enhance the experience of the customers in your marketplace experience. You want to give them offers they didn't know they had, and you want to give them information they didn't know about through your ads. Your ads are not just to market your facility, but your ads, at least according to Facebook, and I try to keep that in mind as I create my ads, your ads are to enhance the experience of the user on Facebook. Now, if you'll notice, I'm whispering today and talking low. That's because I'm in a hotel room on the beach where our newest facility is. When I finish this ad, I'm going to go to the new facility and work with our new employees there. I love this business, and I'm going to be creating a new ad campaign in the next month for this new facility we're just putting into service. So this is real live stuff for our little company, and I'm sharing with you some of the approaches that we take in our marketing. Hit confirm, and then you can let Facebook approve your ad. The next thing you want to do is duplicate that ad, try a different headline, different text, and run 3 to 5 different ads on the same ad set to see which ad begins to get more traction, which headline, which text, or even which image. Well, there you go. Facebook is constantly changing their ad platform, but the basic principles always remain the same. So whether your ad platform looks like what you just saw or not is somewhat irrelevant. The principles are always the same. So I really acknowledge you. Like I said just a minute ago, most people have no idea what's involved in running a Facebook advertising campaign. Now you do. Test a few. Interview people who will run them for you if you want, but now you know what's involved in creating an ad campaign. And you've also seen that the Facebook platform is just one small piece of what's involved in a successful ad campaign. You're going to need other software, other places, other aspects of an advertising campaign that's going to be successful. In the next episode, I'm going to show you some of the software and some of the things that we use that will enhance and add success to the advertising campaigns that we do on Facebook and Google. So I look forward to showing you those next week, and when you put them all together, you will be successful at marketing your self-storage facility online. And remember, the reason we're doing this is because we need to be competitive and relevant with the larger players who are using these platforms nowadays to get their new customers in. If you pay no attention to this, what's going to happen is pretty soon your facility will be irrelevant. So that's why we're exploring this and diving into this whole world of online marketing. So I look forward to being with you next week. My name's Mark Helm. I'm the author of Creating Wealth Through Self-Storage, and I'm the creator of the Storage World Analyzer. This is also a financial analysis tool that the smaller investor has that's very similar to what the larger players have in their own arsenal to be able to analyze facilities in such a way that they can accurately predict what the future cash flows are going to be. The Storage World Analyzer is your opportunity to have that same type software so you can know what the facility will most likely generate in future income, and then that will inform you what you can pay today for that future income. So thank you very much. I look forward to being with you again next week. You can find out more at creatingwealththroughselfstorage.com, Storage World Analyzer, or go to storageworldanalyzer.com. See you soon.